Hello, good morning, everybody. There is an announcement regarding the new classes for the network automation engineer, and today we're going to see what are the syllabus we're going to complete throughout the course, and apart from that, what are the infrastructure for your hands-on practice. And there is 100% lab for each and every topic. So let's quickly start. We will see what are the infrastructure available and how we're going to process with the throughout the automation courses. So you can see on the first page, this course is dedicated for who are looking for the job or the role in future for the network automation engineer or senior or network automation engineer or consultant for the automation. So the classes first point, if we're going to discuss point wise, I have first we're going to take 100% virtual class, no physical class going to be happened. So we have all the classes on the Google Meet, and the class content any query, course material, the lab which we're going to practice, and other stuff going to be available on the Google Classroom. Okay, you can download, you can post. We have 24/7 for discussion portal platform where we will discuss our query and practice. And second, calendars which you can book by the Google Calendar, the slot and availability for the rack and other things like desktop environment if you want to install and dedicatedly for individuals. Now the classes will be on your mobile, laptop, desktop, anything, whatever the electronic gadget you use for the study, it will be available on that. You need only internet connections, that's all. And we have one-time membership program that costs 7,500 rupees. And everyone know what do you mean by the one-time membership means. Any new courses going to announce regarding the automation engineer, you will be a part of that, and you can lifelong you can access the all the material and other type of. Now class timing will be every Saturday 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. on the virtual platform like Google Meet, and we're going to start the class from 11th of December, the first Saturday in December. Sorry, second Saturday of December is going to start. Let's come to see what are the infrastructure for the classes will be available and how you going to complete your lab, 100% lab, because automation is the entire how much you going to practice. This is not matter what we going to teach, you have to practice at your um, level, so that you supposed to able to develop and you supposed to able to develop your code, and you can test it on the different platform. So let's see. So first thing, the developed code on your system, you're going to develop the code on your system and you're going to execute it on your system. We will create a virtual environment in you using the in your desktop or laptop or your machine, local machine, and we will see you within this you can run your and test, but there is a limitation of that. You cannot do the full-fledged, but this is a good practice. You can start up, gear up your career toward the automation network engineer, and you will see what are the parameter basic and how to interconnect network, the behind the underlay network which is working while you are executing the code, and it's going to bring the result from the existing infrastructure which is virtually created into your local system. This is one. Second, individual code testing. How you going to do this testing? You need to book the slot for rack and support. So this will be available from every Monday to Friday for 1 hour. You can use this for the any kind of code you want to execute on the real network infrastructure. So there will be rack, router, switches, firewall, VPN boxes will be available on the network rack infrastructure. You can run your automated code and execute and see the result how quickly working. So for that, this is the dedicated one for individual progress and development. Now come to the next. We have the slot booking for individual developer environment, workstation environment setup. So maybe if a student cannot able to set up their workstation environment, so we are booking the slot from Monday to Friday. This is 1 or 2 slot will be available for everyone. Within that you can set up, that's enough to set up your workstation for your developing the code and prepare for the automation engineer's role. So this will be, again you need to book the slot Monday to Friday, so that accordingly you will be prepared for your next upcoming labs. Now third, but it's very important, we have cloud-based testing, share infra 24/7 availability. Means you can access cloud testing infra anytime as for your comfortable and as per your preparation. So there is no restriction, you can log in, access, but there is, of course, this is the share infra, so you have to carry some etiquettes while you are doing the testing. You should not remove other configuration. You can do the new configuration add-on, and again those 4 infra you cannot do anything nuisance on those, because this is a restricted one. So this will be available 24/7, and there is a basic rule you have to follow while you are accessing the cloud-based testing. In that there is a one provision, once you are very comfortable and you understand in and out, you can set up quickly everything. Once you are handy, so you can go for reserve infra. It will be available for max 8 hours, and within that you have to complete your objective labs. What are the objective you want to succeed and you want to test while you have prepared everything like code and you have topology and design. Once you connect, you can quickly work on that and execute your program and result accordingly. Now this is regarding the infra for for your lab and other things. Means you have for practice purpose 100%. So we're going to do the 100% lab here. Means each and every topic we have hands-on lab, so you can run on the cloud once you are comfortable. Before that you can go with the local system, the whatever the limited virtualization done according to your capacity, your laptop's capacity, you can work on that. Otherwise you can testing done on the cloud. Then we have rack setup for anything. List of courses. So let's see what are the courses we going to cover in this membership program. So this is not a one course, this is a list of courses under the need of automation for the network engineer. For the automation course, not only the one course we have list of course which is going to correlate and link with the entire network engineer career. for the automation. Let's see. First one is first course we're going to complete Ansible for the network engineer. This is done for individual code testing and progress. This course going to take in, and later on once the course will complete, you can do, or during the course while we are taking, you can start your code development and testing either on your local system, or you can book the slot. We will test on the rack. So every month or quarter basis the new program keep on adding on this course. You can keep in touch with the Ansible coding. Now once it will be complete, we will go for the Python 3 for network engineer. Again, same way, you have to keep on practice, and this is the progress measure on the individual code testing, and so you can do on your system locally, or you can do testing on the rack. So these two are the major period, the role where you going to do this. Once you are able to complete these two, we will move on the NetDevOps and DevOps. So there is slightly different. What do you mean by DevOps and NetDevOps? NetDevOps, as per Cisco, it's entire for the network, whereas DevOps is the open and it's for every every system associated with the network, like server. You can do this development on the server side also, and the NetDevOps is for restricted within the network and the edges, network edge. So what are we going to do, what are we going to cover in the NetDevOps? So the fundamental of coding of the Python along with the network programmability and collaboration technologies. So we will see how this going to work in DevOps, and we will, so major part again Ansible and Python will be the subset of this DevOps net. Now next we have enterprise networking DNA Center. So we're going to do the lab for DNA Center, Cisco DNA Center, as well as device level interface provided by the Yang data model. So we'll see in detail what do you mean by Yang data model introduced recently, and there is two major protocol that is called NETCONF and RESTCONF, and we will do entire lab going to be depend upon this NETCONF and RESTCONF in DevOps, as well as that is a subset of the DNA Center is a subset of the NetDevOps. So we're going to see, and we're going to do the multiple lab for, okay, and let's go for next fifth course for the data center. We saw the, once we will able to complete the enterprise level of course, then we will move to the data center and we will see ACI structure. We will do couple of lab for ACI and ACI EM, Epic EM, and the basic fundamental hands-on course we will do, and we will see the API versus CLI, how the user interface are different. If you see, this CLI is the complete world of user interface. This belong to user interface, and you will see how this will work with the API, application programming interface. What are the protocol, or what are the system preparation do we need for to communication? API means one machine going to communication with the other program, so that your role as a user interface going to be reduced. So we will see this testing we will do on Nexus platform, Nexus API interface, explore the application hosting program with the guest cell. We will see how the code going to be run into the guest cell with the Nexus. So we have lab 5 to 6 lab for the Nexus infra, and we will get hands-on. We'll write the simple Python script on that. We'll work with the new standard for the model driven programmability with the NetConf Yang data, and progressively we'll see Ansible. And the best part is we will see the streaming telemetry to modernize your monitoring system. So it's not only for the coding and networking. We'll see how we going to customize our monitoring system and watchdog for the network devices. Next we have basic lab we will do for SD-WAN, Cisco SD-WAN, and we will see what are the options we have available for the program and how we going to start and integrate program for the Cisco. So you will learn and explore the vManage REST API initially using the Postman. Once you are comfortable with that, you understand the connectivity and other programmability for Postman, then we will move to the Python code. So you can see the your Ansible and Python. Once you are prepared, all the technology you going to work, all the network existing infra you have to use and test whether your Ansible and Python is working or not. There is no meaning of automation if it's not correlation to the real existing environment. So learning of Ansible passive and Python 3 is a one part, but the execution and the interconnectivity and how it's working, this is another. Now come to same thing, Ansible and Python. We're going to learn and see the what are the programmability options available for iOS XE. This is the, and we will make the available of this code, and we'll see, we will reserve the rack and we'll do the testing. Again, in the two major protocol you have to remember for the entire automation, we have NetConf and RESTCONF for protocol. With the Yang data model it's going to work. We will understand detail and how we're going to run those iOS platform. So then we see how easy to run Linux utility, Python code, even host application. And last we left with the this very important stuff, ACI and SD-WAN. So we will see Epic interface. We will do lab on Epic interface, create the API request, and we will run the simple Python script to work with the Cobra SDK and other application tool which is going to use for automation. That's the ARIA developments tool, ACI toolkit, Ansible ACI models. We will see and being hands-on what are the actual technology behind that and how it's working, what are the components. And the next, that's very important, all the modern way to study, test your code, collaboration testing, understand them, and execution and upload the version control. That's come under so source or version control technology. This is a modern approach how you can develop the code, test into the platform and execute it. This is the entire modern approach. So we will see the GitHub and source control or version control methodology, modern technology. We will create an account and we will do the testing and we will download GitHub. So before this automation classes, we are very familiar. Ansible is not going to work on the window machine, it's running, we need Linux platform on which we can run the Ansible. So we will see Linux is a part of entire syllabus. We will start our classes from, this is not additional, this is a mandatory, we have to start mandatory. This is a mandatory part of the So we will start our class from Linux and we will end the class from the Linux throughout the automation. So you can see automation easy within Linux. So we're going to start Linux, then we will jump to the we will understand the basic part of network engineer. What are the network, what are the Linux portion do we need for network engineer, and we will quickly start Ansible and Python once we are able to finish. And we will, in between, we will see if we need anything else from Linux, or we will keep on adding during the classes what those content or technology we need into day-to-day activity. And last, we have cloud fundamental. We're going to do few labs, like 5 to 10 labs for cloud hands-on. These are the very fundamental basic. This is not advanced course we're going to take. And we will, after doing this lab, we will see how we can integrate with the RESTCONF and NetConf, these two protocols. So RESTCONF and NetConf, we will test it for these two, and we will see how we can control using the automation script. And the last, we will see Cisco NSO. This is very open and standard platform. That's the network services orchestration. On this, how we going to integrate our net software defined network, which we have either in Cisco SD-WAN or ACI, and how you going to work with the other perspective like API, REST, conf, and by this, thank you. We will see. You can contact me for these classes, so you can call or you can post me on my WhatsApp. We will see you. Bye bye.